Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call this meeting to the Town of Petawawa Council meeting to order for July 21st, 2025. Welcome to members of council, staff, and all of the members in our studio audience as well. I don't know why I call it studio. In our temporary council chambers. We'll start the meeting off with a land acknowledgement, and this evening it's Councillor Kutu.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As we gather this evening, I'd like to acknowledge on behalf of the Petawawa Town Council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Omama Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Omama people and express our respect and support for their rich history, and we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also like to thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years, and we wish to acknowledge our shared responsibilities in responding to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission 94 calls to action. Call to action number 62. We call upon the federal, provincial, and territorial governments in consultation and collaboration with survivors, Aboriginal peoples, and educators to make age-appropriate curriculum on residential schools, treaties, and Aboriginal peoples' historical and contemporary contributions to Canada a mandatory education requirement for kindergarten to grade 12 students. Provide the necessary funding to post-secondary institutions to educate teachers on how to integrate Indigenous knowledge and teaching methods into classrooms. Provide the necessary funding to Aboriginal schools to utilize Indigenous knowledge and teaching methods in classrooms, and establish senior level positions in government dedicated to Aboriginal content and education. Recent progress. First Nations students attending a First Nations operated school receive approximately $1,500 per student per year to support language and culture programming under the new funding model. In 2023 to 2024, over 93% of students attending First Nations administered schools were taught at least one subject in a First Nations language. Thank you.
Thank you. And now I'd ask if everybody present in the temporary town council chambers would please rise for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you very much. I need a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Moved by Councillor Root, seconded by Councillor Donovan, that the agenda for July 21st, 2025 regular meeting of council be adopted as presented. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest on any of this evening's matters? None. Then I need an approval of the minutes of the council meeting of July 7th, 2025. Moved by Deputy Mayor Sabrin, seconded by Councillor Kutu, that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held July 7th, 2025 be approved as printed and circulated. Any questions, concerns about the minutes? Then I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried. Now, we'll start tonight's meeting off with a public meeting. The topic is zoning bylaw amendment from residential 3 R3 to residential 3 exception 16 R3-E16 zone, block 10 on plan 49M-68 Winston Avenue. So just a little bit of a further introduction. This is a zoning bylaw amendment application that has been submitted by JP2G Consultants on behalf of 230-3655 Ontario Limited, which is CW Homes. If approved, the application will facilitate the development of a 24-unit rental townhouse complex. I'd now ask our planner, Melanie, to confirm notice of public meeting.
Notice has been provided as required under the Planning Act.
Thank you, Melanie. Now, Melanie, were there any written comments received regarding the application?
We did receive a comment from Enbridge Gas, who did not object to the application, but reserved the right to amend or remove development conditions. We also received a written comment from the Pemberton Area Airport, that the federal airport zoning regulations, noise exposure forecast, and their publication titled Land Use in the Vicinity of Aerodromes should be considered during the planning process. Town staff want to ensure the airport requirements and regulations are interpreted accurately, and therefore we requested back that the airport review the proposal against their requirements, offering to supply supplementary materials to support their review if required. To date, the airport has not replied. No written comments from the public have been received to date.
Thank you. Can you now briefly explain the purpose of the amendment?
The subject property fronts on Winston Avenue and is described as Block 10 on Registered Plan 49M68 in the town of Petawawa. The property is approximately 1 hectare or 2.5 acres in area. The property is already zoned R3, which allows higher density housing. The purpose of the amendment is to rezone it from R3 to an exception zone to capture the following 3 nuances to this development. In the zoning bylaw as written, you are only allowed 1 dwelling unit per lot, so this exception has to allow multiple townhouse dwellings per lot because it's still going to stay 1 lot just with 24 townhouse units on it. The second exception is to permit proposed decks to encroach into a minimum side yard up to 2 meters. The current zoning bylaw allows decks and porches to encroach 2 meters in front and rear yards because that's typically where the decks are. In this case, the decks are in the rear of a row of the proposed units. Just with the configuration of this lot, it happens to be a side yard. So that doesn't meet the wording of the current bylaw that only allows them in the front and rear. And the third exception is to reduce the minimum required rear yard depth to 8 meters. The proposed development also includes 4 townhouse blocks totaling 24 units. There will be 56 vehicle parking spaces and 4 visitor parking spaces. The proposed site works include paved internal driving aisles, connections to municipal water and sewer, and on-site stormwater management infrastructure. The development is inside one of the noise exposure forecast contours for the airport. So the zoning bylaw requires development within that particular area to be supported by a noise impact study. That was completed by the proponent, and the study has several measures required to mitigate noise impacts. A site plan control application has also been submitted for this development. A site plan agreement, which will be registered against title, will be entered into between the town and the proponent, and that agreement will ensure that the applicable recommendations of the noise study are implemented and that the necessary maintenance of the privately owned infrastructure is also addressed.
Thank you, Melanie. Is the applicant present, and do they wish to make any comments?
A representative from JP2G, the agent for the owners, and the proponent are present and available to address any comments or questions.
Okay, thank you. And now can you explain the appeal process?
There is a 20-day appeal period for this application. However, recent changes to the Planning Act have altered the appeal rights. Zoning bylaw amendments may be appealed only by specified persons, public bodies, and the registered owner of any land to which the amendment may apply. And these are defined in the Planning Act. Members of the public generally, including adjacent landowners and ratepayer groups, do not fall within those definitions of a specified person or a public body and are therefore not entitled to appeal a municipality's approval of the bylaw. They may, however, speak to the application during this meeting so that council can consider their comments in advance of deciding upon the amendment.
Okay, thank you. And now, is there anybody in the audience this evening that would like to ask questions or come forward and make any comments? Okay, having seen none, are there any questions from members of council? Okay, I will now declare this public meeting closed at 6:40 p.m. Thank you, Melanie. Okay, there's no presentations, no bylaws, no correspondence, so we'll go to the minutes. We have some minutes from the council and committee meeting of July 14th, 2025. I need a motion to approve those minutes. Moved by Councillor Coutu, second by Councillor Carmody, that the minutes of the council and committee meeting held on July 14th, 2025 be accepted by council, and that resolutions from that committee become resolutions of council. Are there any questions or concerns about any of those minutes? Then I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried. Greg and, excuse me, Greg and Catherine? Yeah. Can you just, if you don't mind, just take the conversation a little further away. Our microphones are picking it up. Thanks. Okay, next we'll go to staff reports. Our Director of Public Works has a couple of reports. First up is PW 23-2025, the award of RFQ PW-15-2025 guide rail repairs, Eichstead Road and Black Bay Road. You're on, Chris.
Thank you, Mayor Service and members of council. Good evening. Staff are looking for council approval for award of RFQ PW-15-2025 guide rail repairs on Eichstead Road and Black Bay Road, with the lowest bidder being Boral Fence and Guide Rail Contractors Limited in the amount of $111,095 plus HST. This request for quotation was prepared and advertised on our website and social media pages. 8 firms requested quotation packages and 2 firms submitted complete quotations on the closing date of July 15th, 2025 at 10 a.m. You have the 2 bids in front of you, the lowest being Boral Fence and Guide Rail Contractors Limited. This quotation is to remove the existing wood post cable systems that are presently on Black Bay Road and Eichstead Road and replace them and upgrade them with more modern steel beam guide rail systems. Under financial implications, because the monetary threshold of this bid was over $100,000, that's why staff are here tonight to seek approval. And the Public Works Department is requesting permission from council to allocate $80,000 from the 2024 Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund Grant Reserve amount of $107,861 to cover the cost to replace the guide rail systems on Black Bay Road and Eichstead Road to upgrade to a modern steel post guide rail system. This financial ask has been confirmed with the Finance Department. There is funding available. The remaining $31,095 of the $111,095 bid amount is being covered in the existing budget. That's essentially the report. A little bit further background, just so council members are aware, there was $450,000 budgeted for Black Bay Road and $340,000 for Eichstead Road, for a total of $790,000. I've met extensively with Teddy Supo, Public Works Manager. We're really close on this budget, and I do apologize for having to come back to seek additional funding. It's not what I like to do, but we have had some additional work. So we have changed 3 crossroad culverts on Eichstead. That work has been done for a total of $36,000. We're also looking at 2 crossroad culverts on Black Bay Road that we're going to be changing, and those upgrades have been covered in the $790,000 budget. So we were really close, and we had some money still left in the budget, but we're getting pretty tight, and that's why we had to come back tonight to seek this approval. Obviously, we're looking at a really nice upgrade to these roads. The guide rail repairs are the last item. Certainly the bids came in a little higher than we were hoping. But they are a specialty item, and they do require some engineered testing when they're put in. And we want the road to be completed safely and professionally and look good when it's done. Similar to other jobs that we've done when we replaced the Kramer Road culvert, we upgraded the guide rail system there, as well as Kitchener Road. When we upgraded that road from a gravel road to a paved road, we switched the guide rail there. So we are we are looking at upgrading all of our older wooden post guide rail systems to more modern steel beam systems. So hope that provides a little bit more background and happy to answer any questions.
Okay, questions on the report from members of council? Deputy Mayor Simon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I think the steel beam guide rails are fantastic looking and very modern. So,
Yes.
So my question is, the OTIF grant reserve, the funds that we're asking for, and I know that there's money there, but was that hoped to be, was some of those funds hoped to be somewhere else? And if you could just tell me where those funds were, so I'll have that in my head.
Yes, so my understanding, Deputy Mayor Saverin, was that they were being kept in reserve for 2026 road projects, more than likely Portage Road.
Thanks, Chris.
Further questions? Councilor Driscoll.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. With that being said, will this have any effect on us getting Portage Road done next year?
I don't believe so. I believe the Portage Road, you're looking probably at a cost estimate of somewhere around 2.5 million, 2 to 2.5 million. So I don't think 80,000 is going to, it's a factor, yes, but it's not a deciding factor in how we fund a future road project.
Any other questions on the report? I just have one quick one. It says we're taking out 288 meters of guardrail, but putting 240 meters back. Does that have to do with us widening the road footprint, or steel guardrail safer than the other ones?
It's a combination of widening the road, but also we did have a consultant come in and look at the current systems, and they felt that there wasn't a need to extend quite as far on, I believe it was the Black Bay Road guide rail system. So in essence, we saved some money by being able to shorten the span.
And still maintain the safety span. Okay, that's good. Any other questions? All right, so if you're comfortable, I need a motion. Moved by Councillor Root, seconded by Councillor Carmody. The council approves the award of RFQ PW-15-2025 guide rail repairs, Eichstead Road and Black Bay Road, to the lowest bidder being Boral Fence and Guide Rail Contractors Limited, in the amount of $111,095 plus HST. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried. Next, we have PW-24-2025, award of tender PW-14-2025, water tower rehabilitation. Back to you, Chris.
Thank you, Mayor Service. This is some good news. Staff are seeking council support to award tender PW-14-2025 water tower rehabilitation to the lowest bidder being C3 Group in the amount of $678,642.72 plus HST. And that council approved $31,200 for engineering, design, and construction and in costs. And the council approves a 10% contingency allowance in the amount of $67,864.27 for a total project cost of $777,706.99, including HST. This tender was prepared and advertised in the local paper, on our website and social media pages. 14 general contractors picked up tender documents, and 3 bids were received on the closing date of July 15, 2025 at 2 p.m. The bids are summarized in your package. And we have the attached JP2G Consultants Inc. Letter of recommendation. So during budget time, we had budgeted $1.5 million for this work. Follow-up meetings after budget was completed with JP2G, we were looking at being around $1 million for this project. And we've received a really good bid here based on the other 2 bids. So we did have JP2G contact references for C3 just to make sure that they've done other similar projects and their bid wasn't, because it was a little bit lower than the other 2. We wanted to make sure that we were comfortable with what was being proposed here. And yeah, they checked out really well. I also followed up with Brad Sweet, our manager down at the plants. He's also familiar with C3 and is familiar with their work. So he was confident and comfortable with awarding to this group. So the estimated construction budget for this project was just below $1 million. C3's bid is approximately 40% below the budget estimate. I'm happy to take any questions on this one, but, oh, and also I should just mention in case council members are wondering, the work that's included in this bid includes a full restoration of the exterior of the water tower. So that's the column is being refinished. The water tower reservoir is being completely refinished, repainted, new town logo. The interior is being drained. A new coating is being put on the interior to address any rusting issues. There's upgraded ladders, upgraded fall arrest systems, a new active mixing system, painting of the pump room. There's some other valve system upgrades, and code compliant upgrades that are required, at that water tower. So it's more than just a paint job. It's a significant investment in our water infrastructure. I'm really excited to see how this goes because it's the first of three. So this pricing will hopefully continue. Happy to answer questions.
Okay, just a quick one. What kind of lifespan will this allow our water tower once it's rehabilitated? What are we looking at in terms of lifespan?
I would say at least 20 years.
Is that pretty standard?
It's probably more than that in service. I'm estimating 20 years.
All right. Questions? Councillor Turner.
Thank you, Mayor. So I was just curious about what will happen when it's out of commission for the period of time that it takes to do the repairs.
So we've had internal meetings with JP2G and Aqua and the Public Works Department, and we've identified contingencies to work through this. And my understanding is we should be able to do all the work without any impact to anybody in the using our town water supply, and minimal requirements for additional water from the city of Pembroke. So I'm sticking with that plan closely.
Thank you.
Any questions? Councillor Roots.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Councillor Kermy. I was about to ask the same. I just want to make sure everything was covered.
Yes.
And I think it's a great value. Pricing is very good. And nice to see the new logo. So we're going to have that on there. So that will be very interesting. So will it be then that our new colors then with the green and the gray and
It's new colors. It will still say welcome to Petawawa, but it will be in the new color scheme.
very good. Thank you. Looking forward to that.
Further questions? Councillor Cooper.
Thank you. Just to say, I was also glad to see this because it has been such an item of importance. And I do recall working in Deep River for a period, unfortunately, when they had a boil water advisory on because of their water tower. So thinking ahead to what we'll avoid by being so proactive with this. Again, thank you for the work on this and so glad to see this going forward.
Deputy Mayor Savage.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a question in regards to the logo, just so I'm clear. So the new colors, so it's not the squiggly logo, it's just new colors. Is that correct?
That's a tough one to answer. I wish I had the picture in front of me. It will be the new colors. It isn't going to look like the welcome to Petawawa that's on the current tower. It's a new look to the font of the wording based on the rebranding committee recommendations.
So the logo discussion that we had is that on any of our buildings and whatnot, it's our traditional logo, and any marketing and those kind of things, it's the other logo, which
There is no logo
There's no-
per
okay,
se.
so it's
It's
wording.
still, yeah, it's the same wording, Deputy Mayor Savin, welcome to Petawawa, but it's in the new colors and the new font, based on the branding committee recommendations.
okay, that's great. Just wanted your logo says something very different to me. Thank you
Correct.
for that clarification.
Further questions? I like the fact that we asked JP2G to ask for references from the company, so it makes us feel a little more comfortable knowing that this company does good work and has done good work in other places. Yeah, but what great value. It's great to see some tender thing in this one's far below the budget. Okay, are there any further questions? All right, then I need a motion. Moved by Councillor Reed, seconded by Councillor Coutu. That council approves the award of tender PW-14-2025 water tower rehabilitation to the lowest bidder being C3 Group in the amount of $678,642.72 plus HST, and the council approves $31,200 for engineering, design, and construction administration costs. And the council approves a 10% contingency allowance in the amount of $67,864.27 for a total project cost of $777,706.99, excluding HST. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried. Great work on that one, Chris.
Thanks, everybody.
And now we'll go to councilor reports. Deputy Mayor Sabrin.
Thank you, Mayor Service. Well, I'm very pleased you're back after chairing the last two meetings and making a few mistakes and whatnot. I'm pleased that you're back in this chair, so welcome. Just want to let you know that on the 9th of July, I chaired the Seniors Advisory Committee meeting. Again, the committee is providing a lot of important feedback and working very well with the staff team to move the issues related to seniors forward. I do though want to let all of our community know though that we are planning for National Seniors Day, which will be held on Wednesday, October the 1st. It's going to be held at the Petawawa Civic Center, and we're going to have a number of guest speakers and things like that that are very well versed in the things that impact those of us who are over the age of 50, and it'll be the continuum of what helps keep us well and healthy. So you can mark that in your calendar. The first 100 people will be welcomed, and we'll also have a nice lunch. So that's very exciting. On the 10th of July, on your behalf, and with Colin in attendance, we met with the CEO of the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario at Petawawa Centennial Family Health Center. Judy Hill and Paul Morrow were also in attendance, and it was a very good meeting. She is definitely getting out, making the rounds, and trying to learn as to what is important in the communities, and certainly a couple of really good discussions with respect to how services for all families, particularly children, can be better enabled in our communities. So there's a lot of innovation and a lot of good discussion in terms of that. So, and then on the 14th of July, I participated in Committee of Adjustment training. First time that there's actually been training for this committee, and learned a few things, and certainly looking forward to when we get a chance to put that training into action. That's it for me. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Councillor Fenn.
Thank you, Mayor Service. I can report that on Wednesday, July 16th, I attended the Tim Hortons location on the Boulevard as part of their Tim Hortons Camp Day, and handed out many copies through the drive-through window. And this past Sunday had the staff at the library out for a summer social. So a lovely day.
Excellent. Thank you. Councillor Christie.
Thank you. Chair, I was sad to miss summer social, unfortunately. I was away, but I was at the Committee of Adjustment training with Deputy Mayor Savarin and Councillor Driscoll, where Councillor Driscoll was made chair of that committee. So I think we're in very good hands, and I look forward to the work that committee is going to be doing and further training from Melanie, who was very patient, bringing us way up to speed on all the changes in the law. It's hard to keep on top of it, and it's fun to learn there may be further changes. So we'll keep everyone, I think, involved as we learn more, because this will be a very decisive committee, quasi-judicial. So forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Recently attended the training as previously stated, the Committee of Adjustment. I also attended a property standard meeting, and I've been going and traveling around to every different park in Petawawa, taking my kids to play on all the different ones. I think a lot of people would be surprised how many we have, and I suggest everyone try to do that. Get out and try a different park. And other than that, that would be it for this week. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Dunn.
Mr. Mayor, on the 9th of July, I as well attend with Deputy Mayor Sabrin, attended the Seniors Advisory Group. On the 11th, I met with the Accessibility Advisory Committee here at Silver Threads as we completed in accessibility audit of the facility. And on the 16th of July, I as well helped out on Tim Horton Camp Day. Was not so lucky as to be inside a building as the others. So I do apologize to anyone who's possibly seen the photos. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. We were washing windows, getting to chat with lots of people, and very many very generous individuals who really do support the Camp Day program set up by Tim Hortons. And that is it.
Well, thanks for braving the high temperatures to
32
squeegee our windows. It was for a good cause.
It was for very.
Yes, that's right.
Councillor Roots.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Nothing really to report other than all committees that I sit on are up and rolling. All the plans are in place and rolling out. Festival Hall, the summer camps are in, along with some summer shows. The busy at the airport, and the new scale is in place at the waste recovery. So everything's rolling right along. And it's that time of year, and summer is hard to wait. We're into July here. It's crazy. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. For my part, well, first off, congratulations, Councillor Driscoll, on being elected chair of the committee adjustment. And thank you so much, Deputy Mayor Sabra, for filling my shoes so capably. I know you said you made some mistakes, but I heard everything was just perfect. It was like, you don't even need me. And thanks for attending the CHIO meeting on my behalf as well. That's exciting to hear that they're interested in some kind of collaboration. As we know, CHIO is used a lot by the residents of Petawawa, so that's great. Okay, so I was away for 10 days attending the wedding of my son. So we'll go back to the 24th of June. We had a meeting about our 10-year master service plan. Just kind of an update meeting, so we're looking forward to seeing that one roll out. I found it very interesting to see the path forward for the next 10 years in terms of all of our infrastructure in Petawawa. So that'll be coming out soon. Big thanks to Jody Gervais from our HR department, who organized our first summer staff barbecue. It was really, really well attended. Lots of people there, and lots of kudos given out to various employees. County Council is on break for July, so we won't be meeting again until the first week of August. We had a great BR&E event at Downhouse Brewery, organized by Christine Mitchell and Rudy Catlett. It was great to see so many members of our community there, talking about what we can do to attract, retain, and expand our businesses in Petawawa. It was a great event. Canada Day, of course, was another smashing success. Very well attended. It was pretty hot again that day, but lots of people there, so that was great to see. I was also at Tim Hortons Camp Day, but like Councillor Carmen, I was indoors. The only complaint was having to bend down every time you handed a coffee to the guy. And we also had a branding committee meeting on the 17th of July as well. Looking forward to that report coming out to the rest of council. And that's it for me. No closed meeting, so I need a motion for the confirming bylaw. Moved by Deputy Mayor Sabrin, seconded by Councillor Coutu, that bylaw 1768/25 be read a first, second, and third time and passed. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried. And now I need a motion to adjourn. Oh.
Corporation.
We're not adjourning yet.
No, Corporation of the Town of Petawawa bylaw 1768/25, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meeting held on July 21st, 2025. This constitutes first, second, and third reading short of bylaw 1768/25, this 21st day of July.
We had no bylaws. I wasn't in the group. Now I need a motion to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Carmody, second by Councillor Donovan, that the meeting adjourned to the call of the mayor. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried. Sorry, Don.